Hey folks, it's Matt Rainwater here today. As always, I don't know who else would be here. Is there somebody I don't know about? Should I know? Anyway, I'm going to color for a little bit, so hope y'all are ready for that. I am. Oh. It's a little distracted because I saw that the colors for my flats weren't underneath the line art, and I was wondering what was going on. And it looks like something must have happened while I was flatting. Not a big deal. We'll survive it. Not something that I need to put a lot of time or energy into. A little bit. My brain's a little bit all over the place today. So if I seem distracted, it's because I've had a very distracting last week, quite frankly. But it's okay. I got through it. Nothing, not a big deal. For those of you who follow me on social media, you probably saw that I mentioned something, it's probably Friday, about having a situation where the car that I was driving broke down. And I was heading back to Lake Charles from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge is where my dad lives. I was going to visit him for a couple days. And so I got back from that. It was a good visit. We just hung out, watched some movies. Some movies I liked, like Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I watched that for the first time. And while my dad was sleeping off the wine, and I stayed up and watched that movie. And it's a classic movie. It's a classy movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot of really good actors in it, and a very good screenplay. It's just a classy movie. I highly recommend it to anybody who's into I don't know, like feel kind of it's kind of a feel good movie. It doesn't intend to be at all. I think actually it's supposed to be kind of a gritty western considering it's supposed to be a gritty western for the time that it was made in. And nowadays a gritty western in like the what is that 1940ish 1950s probably 50s. I don't actually have a good idea of when that movie was made. Let me look that up real quick. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. When was this movie made? 1962. I was way off. The black and white aspect of that movie threw me off, I guess. So, 1962 movie, black and white, very good. Highly recommend it. And I watched that, and I watched another movie. For was it 30 Days a Night, 40 Days a Night? My dad really wanted to watch it. I watched it with him. I didn't care for it too much. That was modern day gritty. Bleh, like felt terrible after watching it, and it wasn't even enjoyable like a movie like The Thing, or it was just like, oh, okay, horrible things happen to innocent people. Great. Some guy becomes a vampire to kill the vampires. Spoilers, I guess. Anyway, I did all that. Hung out with my dad, had a good time. Spent a night at the casino playing video poker. Bored to tears. I mean, I'd rather play like I'd rather be playing like some arcade shooter. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather be throwing quarters into G Darius or Raiden 2 or anything like that. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, any day of the week over video poker. But there I was, hanging out, playing video poker, bored out of my mind. And had a very nice steak dinner though. So that made up for it. That was pretty much my trip, just catching up with my dad, talking about life, plans, all that stuff. He's almost more of a workaholic than me. So for him, I don't know, I think that's where we sort of get along really well, is like we both enjoy our jobs and are pretty passionate about what we do. So that was kind of the main conversation that we had, just about life and family, stuff like that. Anyway, so back to the actual story. That was all set up. Back to the actual story. I'm driving home from Baton Rouge, going to Lake Charles, Louisiana. I cross over the Atchafalaya Basin just as I am getting off the Atchafalaya Basin. The fuel gauge in my car notifies me that I'm at low fuel. Now, low fuel is like, 50 miles to empty. I got a little bit of space. As soon as the low fuel light comes on, the speedometer in my car goes to 0. And I'm like, what is this about? That's not good. So I pull off at the next exit because I don't know what's going on. I stop at the stop sign. I'm getting ready to turn into a gas station because I have no idea what's about to happen to my vehicle. Could explode for all I know. And as soon as I'm turning, I'm accelerating the vehicle to turn, and it's starting to stall. Like it's not getting above. It kicks a little bit, and it's not getting above. It clearly isn't getting above first gear. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to be stuck here in Breaux Bridge for a little bit. Well, I call tow company, have roadside assistance, all that stuff. Go to mechanic. Mechanic is like, yeah, we're not going to be able to look at this for, probably not until later this afternoon or even really till tomorrow. So I'm just I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm leaving this vehicle here. I'm getting somebody to pick me up, take me back to Lake Charles. Call it a day. This vehicle's staying here. Well, call my good buddy Austin. Austin comes to pick me up, but not before I have a whole other circus of events happen. The mechanics check out the vehicle and they're like, hey, it's running great for us. I'm like, oh, okay. Great. And so they determine what's going on for you. It must be an electrical problem or something's wrong with the computer in your car. We can't do anything about that. You're gonna have to take this to a dealer. And the gentleman at the mechanic store, he gives me, very country town type directions, like, just you turn left from here, you go down the road a couple miles, you're going to turn left at the Mack truck station, and you'll see the Ford dealership. So I do all that. I go to the Ford dealership. the guy at the Ford dealership tells me, we're not going to be able to look at your car for a week. I'm like, okay, well, can't do much about that. So the car's still there in Brobridge. Fortunately, I was able to get a ride from my friend Austin. We had a good conversation coming home that day. It's like an hour and 20 minutes away from Lake Charles. It's not too bad of a drive for everybody involved. Sorry, my nose is itchy. 1 second. And so I got home. Lost a lot of work that day. Or lost a lot of time to work that day, I should say. I did get some work done that day. And I've been having to play catch up all week because of that. I'm actually running a little bit behind on the schedule I'd like to be on. Because we're trying to get this episode that I'm working on right now done by Thursday at the latest. And it's Tuesday. So I had to get all these pages colored today, which is doable. It's very doable. I already got a little bit of a head start yesterday. Tomorrow I have to write the dialogue and letter, which will take me most of the day, but not all of the day. But also tomorrow I'm cooking like birthday dinner for my mom. So I'll probably end up working later in the evening to finish that task. And then laying it out on Thursday. That won't take long. Shouldn't take long. I hope it doesn't take long. There's a lot going on in this chapter, so it's taking longer to make than I anticipated. And that happens. Episode 37 is all backstory for Jake. Good old Jake Baker. What's going on with him? How did he get his collar? Why is he turning into a vampire? Not really a vampire, as you all will have already probably found out. Spoilers, I guess. I haven't really given everything away. What's the deal with the vampires? All that stuff. Trying to get that covered in the next 3 to 4 episodes. Feels a little daunting, gonna be honest. Not sure how I'm gonna fit in everything I want to fit in. Some of it is a little bit improv, not gonna lie. But it's also really fun. Last night, stayed up. Like, I went to bed at like 1:30 and just laid in my bed for an hour thinking about, okay, here's what's going to have to happen for Jake and his backstory. So that's me right now. That's me the last couple of days. Hey, for all you lovely patrons at the $10 level, I sent out postcards that I hope will arrive to you. Oh, you're going to hear all this way in the future. You'll have already received these postcards. I'm trying to... I think I need to start doing some live streams in the near future. I think that would be good. I am noodling around all that stuff lately because I do want to take this whole Patreon thing really seriously as for myself, as an ability to make some extra income for myself. so that I can have money to buy stuff to bring to conventions, merchandise type stuff. Um, any and all extra income really helps me expand my possibilities for making Trailer Park Warlock, for making things adjacent to Trailer Park Warlock. I have been spending the last week planning how I'm going to make, like, physically make this tarot card deck happen. Needs to happen. I'm excited about it. I don't want to just sit on it. I don't want all that work I did to just sit there, right? So I'm planning that out. My current plan is I'm going to make an additional tier either at the $5 level or the $7 level. I'm not sure which. And open that tier up, and that tier is going to basically be, all the stuff from below that level, plus every month you get one card out of the Trailer Park Tarot deck. So if you're above that tier level, what will likely happen is that, so like if you're at the $10 tier level, what will likely happen is that when you get your postcards from me every other month, you'll get the cards from both of those months with that postcard. So you'll get a nice bunch of stuff in the mail. That's the plan. I'm still kind of noodling it around. I have to actually look at getting some quotes done, and after I do that, I'll have a better idea. But I was trying to figure out a way to do it that I don't have to print. I don't have to go to some offset printer and get some giant old, print 1,000 tarot card decks, like a Kickstarter campaign type situation. Really don't want to do the Kickstarter thing yet. Just not feeling it yet. I'm so catching up with everything else going on in my life. I don't really feel up to that at the moment. So I want to do it in a way that is a little bit more, how would you say, just smaller steps. I'm going to take smaller steps into doing this project. By the way, feel free to leave some comments. Let me know how you feel about what I'm talking about here in regards to the tarot card decks. Obviously, I want to do this for y'all. I know a lot of people talked about how excited they were about the idea of making a tarot card or having a Trailer Park Warlock tarot card deck. I'm excited about it too. I've just been, for me, the only really daunting thing has been figuring out how the heck am I gonna make this work given all the factors involved in my current, life, whatever. Because also, I still have 50 something cards to design for the minor arcana. I'm done with the major arcana, but the minor arcana is still, still sitting there. Hey Matt, you still gotta design the rest of this thing. So I think that once I get that tier established, the minor arcana will start to really click into place because I'll have a rhythm that I can start creating that within. And that's the current scheme. This video, I'm going to assume, is going to probably be live in the second week of November. So by then, I will probably have some more clear, definite plans in action. we'll see. This is kind of like the idea of this current little recording being a little time capsule that we can all look at together. Like I said, please leave me some comments on your thoughts about it. Um, if you're at a lower tier level, especially because if you're at a higher, if you're five, there aren't any $5 tier levels. If you're at a $10 tier level, you're gonna get the cards, right? If I go through this plan. So I'm sure for you probably don't have any complaints. But if you're a lower tier level, please let me know. If you're at a lower tier level and you're like, well, I still would like to access that. I would still like to be able to get the tarot card deck somehow. I don't know if I can commit to, more than what I'm giving per month right now. Which I totally understand. We all got bills to pay. We'll figure something out. I'm all about getting art to the people. I really like making art, and I really like sharing the art I make with people. And that's what this is about, right? So, like I said, please let me know. And additionally, thank you all for your continued support, for your help in making all these projects a reality, one step at a time. And I think I'm going to close this video for the day. And before I close, I just want to say, I've already said thank you. I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. Maybe I don't have anything to say, and that's okay. Maybe that's what we can close on. Sometimes we don't have anything to say, and that's okay. We can just sit and listen to ourselves, listen to each other, listen on to what's going on. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day, a good week. I will talk to y'all again soon. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.